Here we are on a Friday. It has been another long week of COVID news and election coverage, tropical storms, wildfires, you name it. It seems like 2020 has probably thrown it at us. And so we want to take some time to talk about our mental health today. It doesn't get talked about enough, specifically long-term impact and what is called post-traumatic growth. Joining us to talk more about this today is Dr. Brad Schwall, the president and CEO for the Center for Integrative Counseling and Psychology. Dr. Schwall, thank you for being with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Let's talk about this. I think people are very familiar with post-traumatic stress disorder. What is post-traumatic growth?
So growth can happen from trauma and crisis and challenges. As we see that we can navigate difficulties, and as we see that we can develop new skills for coping, we can see the positive impact of growing through, not just having to navigate or face a challenge, but growing through it. So there are new skills that we're learning, and also there are new attitudes that we can develop to help see us through any challenge, and especially now.
And so basically that's talking about the good things that we're picking up, or the good changes that we're making to adapt to what is a very different world these days. Let's talk about the not so good side though, and there's really some danger here of people developing long-term addictions or anxiety. That's a very common thing after something like this.
Absolutely. So the concern is that there still is isolation, and group support is so key to issues like addiction or depression. And so everyone must find ways to make those connections, to seek out support. So we definitely are concerned about increases in depression, anxiety, suicidality, addiction. And we want to look ahead and see how these issues may develop further. The hope is that people reach out, they get support, because back to the positive side of it, people can learn to have new values, to recognize that they're stronger than they might not have thought that they were. They're stronger than they thought as they navigate, and then also looking for those changes in values, as well as seeing new possibilities. When we're dealing with stress, we're constricted in our thinking. So we want to see the options for solving problems and for having a positive outlook.
I want to ask you this, Dr. Schwall, because these things don't come with a neon sign above them telling you what's going on, even in your own mind, if you're, just sort of making your way through day to day, week to week right now, month to month as this thing drags on. Do you think that there's a lot of people who are really being deeply affected right now by the pandemic and all that comes with it, and they don't even know it?
Yes. Often we have this thought, certainly I have it better than others. Certainly I'm okay. And so people tend to push back and not recognize when they're hurting. But when a low mood or thoughts of suicide, intrusive thoughts, racing thoughts are intense and last over time. So we're looking for intensity and duration. And when those behaviors or that stress impacts multiple areas of our lives, then we know we need to seek help, to seek counseling. We're still doing telecounseling. The center and other agencies are doing telecounseling. So, but it is true. Often we think, oh, certainly it's okay, or it's just a stage, or of course I'm stressed. But if we're facing intense symptoms, issues, challenges that are lasting over time, impacting multiple areas of our lives, we need to reach out for support.
Yeah, and if you're finding it difficult to get out of bed every day or get yourself to go to bed every night, then chances are that there's probably something going on there. Last thing before I let you go here, can you name just a couple of little mental habits that we should probably try to develop right now to help us?
Absolutely. Focus on the moment. We can only do the next thing. Even recognizing that we can't control our lives actually can give us a sense of peace. Recognizing that there are things that we can be grateful for, and then also talking to others. So really it's about looking at our outlook on life, focusing on what we're grateful for, being open to the fact and realizing it's okay to be hurting, and then most importantly, finding that support, reaching out for professional help, reaching out to others and recognizing it's okay to talk about it. It doesn't mean you're weak. It doesn't mean you don't have enough faith. It's okay to talk about it when we're not feeling okay.
Because everybody's in the same boat together right now. Thanks a lot for being with us today. Again, Dr. Brad Schwall, the president and CEO of the Center for Integrative Counseling and Psychology. Appreciate the discussion.
Thank you very much.
We're going to take a quick break right now. When we come back, we're talking about the weather forecast, and it is going to be much more